Hello everyone, this is RetroGame, and welcome back. Today we're continuing our journey through the Final Fantasy series with Final Fantasy III, aiming for another 100% achievement completion. For this playthrough, I'm going to be playing the 3D Remake version on the PSP. As for the achievements, besides simply finishing the main game, there are several missable achievements just like in the previous games. These include collecting every treasure chest, completing the bestiary, and defeating certain bosses under specific conditions. Anyway, without further ado, let's begin our journey through Final Fantasy III. Alright, let's jump into the game and begin our adventure. Before we begin, I should mention that I've played both the Pixel Remaster and the 3D Remake before, and honestly I like the 3D Remake more because it explains the backstory much better. For example, right here we get introduced to our main characters along with some background story, while in the Pixel Remaster I feel like the game just drops 4 characters into this cave without much explanation. Alright, here comes our first combat. The battle system feels a little slow at normal speed, but just like in Final Fantasy II, you can use the auto battle feature. When auto battle is on, the combat speeds up a bit, and there's also a turbo function that makes it go even faster. Okay, we can finally move our character now. Like the previous games, every town and dungeon has treasure chests to collect. We can't get all the chests in this dungeon yet, so we'll need to return later. For now, let's head to the boss room. Alright, this is the first boss of the game, and also our first missable achievement. As usual, there's a small icon in the top left corner that marks a missable achievement battle. For this one, we need to defeat the boss without using any items. It should be easy enough, I think. So the story of Final Fantasy III revolves around the crystals again, just like the first game. It feels like they were trying to return to the chosen Warriors of Light formula after Final Fantasy II Crisis. And there it is, the achievement just popped up. That took way longer than I expected. I thought it was going to unlock immediately after defeating the boss. Looks like the crystals sent our heroes back to the surface. Before we go back to town, let's revisit the cave and grab the treasure chests we couldn't get earlier. And with that, we finished everything we needed to do in the cave. Let's head back to town now. Alright, from this point on, I'm going to start using the characters' default names. So, Luneth's hometown is called Let's explore the town and, as usual, collect all the treasure chests first. It looks like this old man is trying to teach us how to use the new zoom feature to look for sparkling spots which usually contain items or hidden switches. Ooh, there are a lot of treasure chests here. Not bad at all. After looting that house, let's head back to town. Oh, looks like something's going on here. I have a feeling this guy is going to be one of the main characters. After dealing with those bullies, let's continue our search. It looks like the Elder is looking for Luneth, so let's go talk to him. And here's the last treasure in After collecting all the treasure chests and buying some new gear, it looks like we're finally ready to begin our journey for the crystal. Just a little further south, we've found another town. And look who's here. And with that, Ark has officially joined our party. Nice. We've got 2 party members now. As we look around, we notice something strange about this town. It seems like all the residents have turned into doodle-like figures. Anyway, before we investigate further, let's collect the treasure chests first. Oh, look, it's Sid. It seems the whole town got cursed and turned into these doodle-like figures. I guess we'll have to help them first. We need to find a mithril ring to dispel the curse. Well, let's go look for it. Okay, Sid says his airship is hidden somewhere in the nearby desert. Oh, it looks like someone is already here. Alright, our third party member has joined the team. I'm guessing we'll still be using the classic 4-person party setup, just like in the previous games. Well, that was fast. We already have the airship this early in the game. Let's hope it doesn't get taken away immediately. So there's a cave to the north and a castle to the west. Let's check out this castle first. Now that we've been allowed inside, let's do our usual treasure hunt before progressing the story. Let's go meet the king now. I guess he's going to be our fourth party member. Alright, our task now is to defeat the Jinn and save these people from the curse. Our next destination is the cave to the north where the Jinn lives. Okay, so this cave is called the Sealed Cave. About halfway through the cave, we run into someone. Oh, Princess Sarah has joined us now. And with that, we've collected every treasure chest in this cave. And into the boss room we go. We finally meet the Jinn. And for the missable achievement here, we can't use any magic during the fight. Simple enough, I'm just going to auto-attack my way through this battle. Oh, I just noticed that now that we've assembled the full party, the story has reached the same point as the original game's opening. In the original version, the 4 heroes are thrown directly into the Crystal Cavern from the very beginning. I also noticed while editing the video that there's a faint static noise in the background. I apologize for that. The good news is that it only affects this portion of the video, so it should be gone after this section. I was about to say something about the job system, but I guess the Moogle beat me to it. Alright, let's take a look at the job system first. Looks like we're starting with the classic Final Fantasy I jobs. After thinking it through, I'm going with Warrior, White Mage, Monk, and Red Mage for now. Back at Castle Sasune, we meet Princess Sarah again. Oh, we got a folding canoe. That makes a lot more sense now, since we can use it immediately whenever we run into shallow water. Let's head back to Kaz's first and check on the residents. I'm starting to notice that this version has way more cutscenes than I remember. Let's check on Sid now. Oh, it looks like Rafia snuck out to continue the journey with us. Before we continue, let's head back to Kazas. It looks like we missed some treasure there. And with that, let's continue our journey by ramming the airship into the mountain. I'm sure it'll be fine, right? Alright, let's continue our journey on foot, I guess. It seems Sid is leaving the party now, and our next objective is to speak with King Argus. Let's explore the city and collect all the treasure chests. A mountain to the east, she said. Let's put a note on that. Oh, looks like this is Sid's house. Oops, there goes an elixir. Hopefully it was worth it. Wow, that's a lot of treasure chests. So it turns out most of this town's treasure is hidden inside Sid's house. I guess he's a bit of a hoarder too. Now that we've finished up here, let's make our way to the mountain. Oh, did we just get kidnapped and brought to the nest? Looks like someone has already been here. Oops, I think we're supposed to be running. Alright, I guess we should use the mini spell and head to the gnome village. Since we're mini right now, our melee attacks are basically useless. So I changed everyone's job to a magic user. Alright, let's keep going. Oh, it looks like this leads us to the other side of the mountain. So this is Viking Cove. Okay, it looks like we're not supposed to fight this guy yet. Looks like our next destination is the temple to the north. It looks like we need to find the other eye. We're still under the mini status at this point, so I'm sticking with an all-mage party for now. However, since there's a missable achievement tied to the boss up ahead, I'm switching one party member to the thief job. As I was saying, the missable achievement for this boss requires you to have at least one thief in your party. Pretty easy fight, I guess. I just turned on auto battle and spammed spells, and the boss went down without much trouble. Alright, we got the eye. Let's put it back in the statue. Looks like returning the eye to the statue has put the dragon to sleep. Now let's go back and let the Vikings know the good news. Now that we're the proud owners of the Enterprise, let's continue our journey and sail south. We've arrived at a new town called Tokal. As usual, let's collect all the treasure first. To the west of Tokal, there's another town called the Village of the Ancients. In this village, there's a side quest from this kid that requires us to ride a chocobo all the way around the continent. Alright, let's knock this out first. First, we'll need to get a chocobo. Luckily, there's a chocobo forest nearby. This shouldn't be too hard. Chocobos prevent random encounters, so we can ride around without worrying about enemies. While we're making our way around, we can also get a good sense of just how big this continent really is. Honestly, this continent isn't as big as I expected. Then again, if I remember right, there are more continents to explore later. Now that we've completed the side quest, let's return and report back to the kid. So after riding around the entire continent, our reward is a piece of bread. Nice. Now that the side quest is done, as usual, I collect every treasure in this village. With everything wrapped up in the Village of the Ancients, it's time to continue our journey to Castle Argus, located in the center of the continent. I need to switch to a thief to open this locked door. After that, it's just a matter of collecting all the treasure, and we're done with Castle Argus for now. Our next destination is the cave to the west of Castle Argus. Let's get going. Oh, it looks like these people know Desh. Of course, don't forget to loot this place before we move on. Our next destination is the Tower of Owen, located just north of here. We've gathered all the treasure this dungeon has to offer. Now it's time for the boss battle. Here's another missable achievement. This one is pretty simple. Don't use any magic during the boss fight. Just auto attack and you'll be fine. After Desh sacrifices himself to stabilize the tower, we're sent back to our ship. With the whirlpool gone, we can finally explore the outer part of the sea. As we continue exploring, we've officially reached 25% bestiary completion. Our next destination is the village on the eastern side of the continent. As always, our first priority is to collect all the treasure this place has to offer. Before continuing our journey, there's another side quest we can take care of. We need to read a letter from Topapa. After that, we'll make our way back to our hometown. With news of the missing children, our next destination is the cave once again. Let's find out what happened. Well, it's just a couple of bombs. Oh, aren't these the kids who bullied Ark at the beginning of the game? With the side quest complete, we're rewarded with the Onion Knight job. It's considered one of the strongest jobs in the game, but it doesn't truly reach its full potential until max levels. With the side quest complete, it's time to continue our journey to the northwestern part of the continent. We finally meet the dwarves here, just like in the first game. Our path continues underwater, so we'll need to use the Toad spell before we can dive in. Now that we've made it inside the cave, we can safely return to our normal forms, I think. With every treasure collected, we're ready to face the bosses. Another boss, another missable achievement. This time, the challenge is defeating Gutsko without bringing a black mage or white mage into the fight. Red mage is still allowed, so there's no need to replace them. With Gutsko defeated, we retrieve the Horn of Ice. But what's that mysterious black shadow following us? And of course, the mysterious shadow turns out to be Gutsko all along. So our next objective is to chase Gutsko into the cave north of here. As always, we'll collect every treasure first before making our way to the boss room. I actually forgot to mention this earlier, but for this missable achievement, I've been holding off on leveling my party past level 20. That's because every party member must be level 20 or below to unlock the achievement. So far, all of the boss fights have been pretty straightforward. Even with the achievement restrictions, there's nothing particularly challenging to mention. With the blessing of the Fire Crystal, we unlock several new jobs. None of them really stand out for my party though, so the only change I'm making is switching Ingus to a knight. Now that we have the Horn of Ice, it's time to bring it back. And now we can finally collect the treasure from this place with proper permission, of course. That's a lot of treasure, and most of it is equipment for the new jobs we just unlocked. It looks like we need to head back to Toggle. It seems we've been lured into a trap. It looks like we've been kidnapped and imprisoned inside Castle Hind. Since we're not chained up, let's take a look around. And we just got another mini spell. I have a feeling we're going to use it to escape through that small hole. Now that we've collected everything in this dungeon, let's head into the boss room. This boss fight is a bit more annoying than the previous ones. Maybe I wasn't using the best strategy, but it ended up taking longer than expected. For the missable achievement, you're restricted to using only jobs unlocked by the fire crystal. Since I haven't used those jobs much, their job levels are still pretty low, which made the fight a little tougher. I also made a mistake by bringing 2 rangers without enough arrows. Once they ran out of ammo, they had no choice but to whack the boss with their bows, which wasn't exactly effective. With everything wrapped up here, our next stop is Castle Argus. Let's head back. It's time to return to Canaan and meet up with Sid to continue the story. Looks like it's time for a flashback. Now that our ship has been upgraded into an airship, a whole new world is open to us. Let's explore the rest of the world. Let's check the map first. It looks like there isn't much land around here. Let's head to the northeastern island and see what we can find. Okay, I'm a little confused about how to land this thing. Looks like there are only 2 treasure chests to collect on this ship. Looks like we need to take her to the water temple. Let's head there next. The water temple is located just south of here. Let's head there. Our next objective is to bring the shard to the Cave of Tides, located just north of here, and break the crystal seal. Here's another missable achievement. This time, every party member has to be a freelancer for the boss fight. Well, that was one long cutscene. Time to get back to the action. Thanks to the water crystal, we've unlocked a handful of new jobs. There are some great options here, especially the Dark Knight, Viking, and Dragoon, so these will be my main jobs going forward. After everything that happened, we woke up in this town. Let's explore the area before continuing our journey. Wow, I guess we just met the real Warriors of Light. They've even got the heroic poses and everything. And just like that, our next destination is the sewers. But before we head down there, let's collect all the treasure first. It looks like our fellow warriors of light are surrounded by frogs. Let's give them a hand. Turns out it's just a normal enemy encounter. It does make me wonder how they managed to make it this deep without running into all the other monsters. Continuing on, let's collect all the treasure in this area. I was expecting the usual boss fight at the end of the dungeon, but instead she just handed us the shoes. It's all thanks to our fellow warriors of light. Now that we have the shoes, we can finally cross this swamp and make our way into the mansion. This whole mansion seems to be made of gold, and wow, that's a lot of golden swords. And now it's time for the boss. For this missable achievement, we can only use jobs unlocked by the water crystal. Luckily, those are the jobs I've been using so far, so we don't need to change the party. The fight was easy enough. I just left the party on auto and let them handle it. Sadly, he destroyed the crystal, but at least he dropped the key to unlock the chains, so I guess we still came out ahead. With the key in hand, we can finally free our ship and get back to our journey. Our next destination is the nearby island, where we'll find a town called Duster. Let's head over and see what we can find. I think that's everything in Duster for now. It's home to the Geomancer and Bard jobs, so you can pick up their equipment here. Our next destination is Repleto, located in the northwest part of the continent. Just like before, our main goal here is to collect all the treasure. With all the treasure collected, let's continue with the main story. From Repleto, we'll fly a little further south. Looks like our airship got blown up again. At this point, I'm starting to think that we are cursed. Anyway, let's explore the area before going into the castle. If you notice the area before we got shot down, this place is actually a huge city surrounded by 4 towns. So it's probably going to take us a while to explore everything and collect all the treasure. I'm honestly considering quitting the playthrough because of this missable treasure collection in this town. The achievement wasn't marked as missable on the website, so I was completely caught off guard. As you can see, we're currently at 24 out of 26 treasures, which means I'm missing 2 items. Those 2 treasures require Prince Ark to be in the party, and once Prince Ark leaves the party, the achievement becomes permanently missable. At this point, Prince Ark has joined the party, and this is when we were supposed to grab those 2 missing items. Unfortunately, I had already passed this point without knowing they were missable, so I had already missed the chance to collect them. This boss is probably the hardest one we've faced so far. The main reason is that we can't use Dragoon for this fight. This boss has a really strong AoE spell, which can be avoided pretty easily by having the Dragoon jump. There wasn't really any special tactic I used for this fight. I just leveled up enough beforehand so my party could survive the AoE attack. Still, all that effort was ultimately wasted, since I'm going to reload an earlier save later because of the missable achievement. This achievement is for collecting all the treasures in Saronia Castle. It's a separate achievement from the missable one I mentioned earlier. After searching around for the missing treasure, I finally realized what had happened. I checked the achievement page and saw that I was still missing one item. I had actually already talked to the NPC and received one of the items, so I thought that was all there was to it. Unfortunately, I didn't realize there was another missable item I needed to get. After that, I checked my last few save files. Unfortunately, I had just saved recently, so the latest save was already too late. I had to go back to the next available save, which was around level 19, back when we were exploring Gaisal Village. Alright, I guess I'll see you again in a couple of seconds. Here we are. I guess I'll show you where the missable item is. As a reminder, we need Prince Ark in the party and have to talk to these two NPCs to get the items. And there we go, we finally got the achievement. Now we can get back to the main story with our new ship, the Nautilus. It's time to continue our journey to the southern part of the continent. Our next destination is Doga's mansion. Looks like we need to use the mini spell again. Time to shrink down and continue our journey. After that exploration, we can now travel underwater with the Nautilus. Our next destination is the southeastern corner of Saronia. From there, we'll dive underwater and explore the area. After collecting all the treasure, we're ready for the boss fight. There are a few achievements tied to this battle. The first is simply defeating Odin. The second is stealing Odin's weapon, which requires a level 70 thief, so I came prepared for that. As for the last achievement, well, I missed it again. You have to defeat Odin without using any magic. The boss fight itself is no joke either. Odin hits incredibly hard, and his powerful AoE attacks can wipe out the entire party in no time. After grinding a bit more and bringing a white mage into the party, I finally managed to defeat Odin. Unfortunately, that meant I couldn't earn the last achievement since it requires beating him without using any magic. At this point, I still hadn't realized that I had missed the no magic achievement. I also forgot to show the moment I stole Gungnir from Odin, but here it is. Gungnir is an incredibly powerful spear for the Dragoon, and I think I ended up using it all the way to the end of the game. Our next objective is another treasure hunt in the Sunken Cave. There's nothing particularly special about this place. Now it's time to continue the main story. Our next destination is the Underwater Temple of Time, where we'll obtain Noah's loot. Our next destination is Une's Shrine, which is just nearby. With Un-A now in our party, our next destination is the ancient ruins. And here we get another ship. This one even comes with a shop, a fat chocobo, and a bed for resting. It's also much bigger than the Nautilus. Unfortunately, it can't travel underwater, so we'll have to switch between the two ships from time to time. Our next objective is another side quest. Let's head back to Sasune and meet with Princess Sarah. Let's ask Taka about the pendant. Next, we'll head to Saronia and talk to this person. With the side quest complete, our next destination is Falgabard, the hometown of the Dark Knights, located to the southwest of Saronia. The loot here isn't too bad, especially for the Dark Knight. Since I'm using Ingus as my Dark Knight, most of these upgrades are pretty useful. After that, we head back to Sid. It looks like he's having some trouble with his basement. By the way, just a reminder, I unlocked all of these side quests through Mognet by reading the mail. The fight wasn't too difficult, and we got a piece of unknown metal as a reward. Our next stop is the Cave of Shadows, located on the far eastern side of the continent. This cave seems to be a training ground for Dark Knights. After collecting all the treasure, we're ready for the boss fight. For this missable achievement, we need to use a full mage party, which isn't too bad. With the Fang of Earth in hand, we can finally access the ancient maze and reawaken the Earth Crystal. Of course, before we can receive the Earth Crystal's blessing, we have to complete its trial first. For this missable achievement, we're only allowed to use jobs from the original Final Fantasy I, Warrior, Black Mage, White Mage, Red Mage, Monk, or Thief. Before we continue, I finally realized I had missed Odin's achievement, so I reloaded an older save, did a bit more grinding, and came back with a full monk party for this fight. Like I mentioned back in Final Fantasy I, Monk is my favorite job in the entire Final Fantasy series. After that, I reloaded my main save file and continued the journey. Our next destination is a little west of Castle Argus. We'll use our canoe and approach the swimming shadow. While exploring, we finally reach 75% completion of the bestiary. With all the treasure collected, we're ready to fight the boss. For this missable achievement, we need to defeat Leviathan while having a summoner in the party. Next, we're heading west of Tozu's to Bahamut's lair to obtain another summoning spell. And here we are facing Bahamut once again for our rematch. For this missable achievement, the requirement is the same as before. We just need to have a summoner in the party when we defeat him. That's all the summoning spells we can obtain for now. With that done, let's continue the main story and head back to Doga's manor. Okay, that true form was terrifying. After that, we're heading back to the ancient maze to finish exploring it. Earlier, we only came here to access the Earth Crystal, so now it's time to clear out the rest of the area and collect everything. And after that, we continue our journey to the Crystal Tower. In the Forbidden Land Eureka, we can collect a whole bunch of legendary weapons, but of course we'll have to pass the trials first before we can claim them. Both of these legendary swords are kind of useless for me, since I'm not using any of the jobs that can equip them. And with that, we've collected all the treasure in Eureka. There are also NPCs here who sell the strongest black magic, white magic, and summoning spells in the game, probably in case we missed any of them earlier. I actually forgot to talk to Sid after clearing out his basement, so I had to go back and continue the side quest. After talking to Sid, we can continue the legendary blacksmith side quest. Head over to Falgabard where you'll find her waiting. We receive the Ultima weapon, but this is only the beginning of the quest. To complete it, we need to max out every job to level 99. The good news is that it doesn't have to be done on a single character. We can spread the jobs across the entire party. At first, I thought it was going to be really tedious, but it ended up finishing much faster than I expected. After getting every job to level 99, we need to find the legendary blacksmith again, as she can spawn in several different locations. I found the fastest method is to travel back and forth between Gisal and the healing cops, since they're so close to each other. You have to move between two different locations, because simply entering and leaving the same area won't reset her spawn location. Once you find her, switch your main character to a job that's already level 99. That lets you receive the exclusive equipment for that job. You can only claim this reward once per job, so here's a montage of all the exclusive job equipment. This took way longer than I expected. Not only is her location completely random, but her spawn rate also seems pretty low. I honestly don't understand why she has to leave after exchanging equipment for just one job. It feels like a completely unnecessary waste of time. After that, we continue our journey by exploring the Crystal Tower. There are also achievements tied to monster drops in this dungeon, specifically from the 3 colored dragons. They each have a chance to drop equipment for the Onion Knight, so we'll be farming them along the way. The neat thing is that the achievement pops up before you even find out whether the item dropped or not. These dragons aren't easy targets either, especially the green and red dragons. They can inflict crowd control on the entire party, which often leads to a game over. I actually got wiped out a couple of times while farming them. After getting the full equipment set, we also collected all the treasure in the area. I cut out the Avengers Assemble scene because it took too long. Alright, we're in the final stretch now. This is the last dungeon in the game. Weirdly enough, there aren't any achievements tied to this fight. After that scripted defeat and using the power of friendship to save us, our next objective is to reach the 4 crystals of darkness and defeat their guardians. Doing so weakens the cloud of darkness, giving us a chance to defeat it for real this time. After defeating all the Guardians, we're finally ready to face the Cloud of Darkness. Before the fight, I switched every party member to Freelancer for the missable achievement. I wasn't actually prepared for this challenge, so hopefully we can beat it on our first try. I didn't actually have any equipment for the freelancer job, so I only equipped Rifia with a weapon while the rest of the party used shields. It made the fight much slower than it needed to be. The fight itself was pretty tough and took a long time, but we eventually managed to beat it. Okay, I'm going to skip the ending scene since it's just the heroes returning to revisit all the places we've been before. With that, we've finally beaten the main story of Final Fantasy III. But we're not done just yet. There are still a couple of achievements left for us to unlock. For the next achievement, we're going to take on the game's super boss. Final Fantasy III only has one super boss, and it's located just east of the entrance to the floating continent. Okay, this boss is insane. It deals massive damage with both its single target attacks and AoE abilities, and to make things even worse, it gets 4 actions every turn. I even tried using my strongest setup, a party of black belts with a dedicated healer, but the boss still completely destroyed me. So I looked up a strategy, and the answer turned out to be surprisingly simple. Use the classic MMORPG formula: a tank, a healer, and the rest of the party focused on DPS. I used a Viking with dual shields so it could provoke the boss and soak up all the attacks. Combined with constant healing every turn, the fight became much more manageable. I actually liked this kind of fight because it made each party member's role matter, just like in an MMO. For most of the game I could get away with running an all DPS party, but this boss finally forced me to build a proper team with distinct roles. Before long, we finally managed to beat it. 1 achievement down, 1 more to go. For the last achievement, we need to complete the bestiary 100%. I was actually missing a few monsters and was worried I wouldn't be able to get the achievement since some of them are found in the World of Darkness. Thankfully, the World of Darkness is still accessible after beating the game, so I was able to go back and finish the bestiary. And with that final achievement, we've finally mastered the PSP version of Final Fantasy III 3D Remake. Okay, for my final thoughts, I still think the 3D Remake is the definitive version of Final Fantasy III. I know some people don't like the 3D visuals and prefer the pixel remaster, but I personally enjoyed the remake more. That said, the game has a lot of cutscenes, and the loading screens can take quite a while. Because of that, I had to cut or edit many of them to keep the video moving at a good pace. Another thing I liked is that there isn't any DLC to worry about, so getting 100% completion is much more straightforward than in the previous two games. I also enjoyed this game more than Final Fantasy II because it goes back to the classic fantasy adventure formula. Instead of focusing on yet another rebellion storyline, it feels like a more traditional adventure, and I personally found that much more enjoyable. That's all from me. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you again on the next adventure.